we will we will say based upon the requirements we will create the project, or if it is a product then we'll go to the market and then we'll analyze that market and get that particular requirements. So this is how the requirement gathering phase will be done. And who are the participants in this one is, in if it is a normal SDLC models, we do have a business analyst or project management team. And if it is an agile model, then we will be having the product owners. So the roles will be these three people: product owners, business management team, and then the business analyst or the product owners. And what they will be doing is they will capture the basic requirements, how the customer, the client requires. So that's how they'll capture. Next one is analysis phase. Analysis phase is nothing but now. So the contractor, come back to the story. The contractor will reach out and then he collected once after collecting these details, he will go back to his company and then he will discuss there. Okay, so this is what the client requirement. They wanted the swimming pool here. They wanted to have this here, and they have this much of land, and they were asking this one. So now what they will do? They will try to do the feasibility study. So whether this can be accommodated in the respective area. So whether we can keep the pool and the car parking on the lawn and the house construction with these particular things, is it possible or not? So how much budget is required for this one, and how much time it will be required for this one, how much people it was required for this one. So like this we will be having all the factors, right? So based upon all these particular factors, they will prepare a particular plan, and according to that particular plan they will go and say that this is feasible or this is not feasible. Because if I say that the budget is around 1 crore 1.5, but if the requirement is going beyond 2.5, then there is no point of doing that one. So that's where the people will do the budgeting, time costing, resourcing, and all the feasibility studies in this. The same way in the software file. So whenever we are doing it, so what is a framework architecture? What is a technology stack? What is a whether we have the required skills or not? Whether we have the architects to do this one or not? So they will go and then do all the feasibility study from different perspectives and different angles. The testing team will do from the testing, development team will do from the development, and the project management team will do the project management. And they will give up with a lots and lots of outcome that whether we can go ahead with this particular project with respect to budget and time and the resources and the skill sets and the testing bandwidths and all the things. They will calculate it, and in this analysis phase they will derive this. So now by this itself you can understand all business analysts or the POs or the development team or the testing team or the architects or the managers or the project managers, everyone will be part in this particular phase. So these are the roles, and this is what we will perform in the analysis phase, and these are the outcomes of this particular phase.
Hello, Krish. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Can I connect back to you at 1:30? I'm having some doubts of list of web elements
Sure, sure,
on
Shruti.
site.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you at all. So you can drop off and then you can join later, please.
Yeah, thank you, Krish.
Sure. So this is what the analysis phase. Now the next phase is the designing phase. Now we know what to do and we know we have analyzed all the things. Now the next important thing is, as soon as we know all these things, will we go and directly create the house? No, what we will try to do, we will have a blueprint or architect plan. So in that particular architect plan, they will show that, oh, this is where your master bedroom, and this is where your second bedroom, and this is where your hall and the living room. So this will be giving all these particular informations. So based upon that particular information, they will create an architect plan. According to that particular architect plan, they will proceed further, and then they will try to implement the things. So creating of that particular blueprint are the things which we'll be doing in the designing phase. So designing phase, we will be having a low level design and a high level designing. So how to execute this particular project. So that particular designing things will be done it in the designing phase. So probably architects, development architects, testing architects, everyone will be part of this one, and they'll talk about the your framework architectures, how to create. Don't worry what is a framework and all the things, we'll get into it, but you need to understand. That's where I was telling you a story. So why I'm trying to keep it into a story means, always that's means whenever someone asks you to tell the SDLC, you can take this particular story to recap yourself, where it can stay for a long time. That's where I'm trying to explain in a story and then comparing into this software field. Okay, so now based upon how we have the blueprint, we will be having a complete roadmap, and it was like a runway for a flight. So when the flight is going to take off, we'll have that particular runway, right? So that particular runway will be having this designing phase. Now we have all the design plans and everything is done. Now once after this one, the flight has to take off. So where we do the implementation. Now come back to our story. So this guy constructor means a contractor will have the complete blueprint and everything. Now they will start doing the foundation, and then they start to create the walls, and then according to the plan they will start doing the implementation phase. So that is what in our software development we will talk about the coding. So here they can take any programming language like Python, PHP, Java, or C sharp, whatever the languages they wanted to have, they will have that particular languages, and according to that particular languages they will develop that particular application which is in the coding phase. So the roles will be the development architects will be joining for this phase, and the outcome of this particular role is we will be having developed application, which is means application to start for the testing. So now we come back to the story again. Now we are creating this particular building. So someone will need to the engineer will try to monitor that particular thing, whether they are constructing it properly or not, whether it was according to the plan or not. Is there any deviations? Because the client asked for this, so he wanted the master room with this particular square area. So whether the walls are having with the proper putties, and then whether the walls are keeping some proper watering or not. The same way in the application, whether it is matching to the requirements or not. Is there any deviations? So the testing team will start doing the testing on this one. The people will doing the inspection on the application. So this is where the birthplace of STLC. So here the STLC will be born over here. So now the testing, in the testing phase, the testing team will be participating, and then the respective business owners will be participating, because if there is any requirement clarifications or anything, the team will be reaching out to the respective business owners. So now the testing, once after the particular testing phase, then it will be go for the deployment. In the story, we will do the handover. So, ma'am, all things are completed. So take back your home. So that's how the people will be giving back to them. So now the people will say, go do the intermediate regular inspections, and then see that, oh, this is what we wanted. And then we have the handover. And whenever we have the maintenance we required, we'll call those people. Similarly, in our software also, the same thing. So now we do have this is delivered and then implemented at that point of time. So those people can come back and then take it, and they can deliver this particular product to the people. And if there is any particular maintenance or anything to the people, so that particular maintenance will be take it or carried further with that particular respective team members. So this is what the SDLC means, that software development life cycle. What are the roles and what are the phases and how they have been implemented. This is how we should know about it. And once after this SDLC, and there are different models of the SDLC. Means if you wanted to construct an apartment, there will be a separate approach. If you wanted to construct an individual house, it would be a separate. So now we have different softwares and different ways of implementing it. So that's where we do have waterfall model, RAD model, spiral model, and then prototype model, incremental model, V model, and then agile model. So we should know what are the models and how, means all these are SDLC models only, but how these models have been explored and then implemented, you should know about that respective models. So this is what we have been asked for. Go through what is a RAD model, what is the advantages of RAD model, disadvantages of the RAD model, same with spiral model. So like this, we need to take that 7 models, understand them, and then what are the advantages and disadvantages of that particular models. So if you go through that, then it would be very much easier for you. Why are we in this particular current situation? So because why we should know this particular models, because every model will have a different testing approaches. So in the RAD model, the testing approaches will be different. The levels of testing will be different. You don't worry about it. What do you mean by levels of testing, the testing method, these all things? When you understand these particular models, I'll map this particular dots. See, now always now you will be having a different dots. Now in a RAD model, how we do the testing, and how we do in the spiral model, and how we do in the prototype model, increment model, waterfall model. You just understand the phases. So when I was talking about the levels of testing or the types of testing, at that time I'll try to connect these particular dots. Believe me, sometimes you need to follow. So once you have been followed, you can understand that why we have been asked you to do this, because it been a very long time for us to make this particular structure so that it can be easier for the people to get understand. Okay, so now these are the phases. Now we have discussed the SDLC and phases and these roles, and what are the phases we will be doing it. Similar way, you should understand how we need to do for the STLC. So that particular part you need to go through and come back to me tomorrow. So what is the expectation out of you people for tomorrow as go, and it is very simple. So now if you wanted to know about the waterfall model, just go to the waterfall. You can type here and then you can just search it over here and you can get that. What is a basic waterfall model? So usually you can follow this tutorial pointer, you'll get more than enough. Understand what are the advantages of this and disadvantages of this. Each disadvantages of all these 7 models are the advantages of the agile model. This is what I'm keep on repeating and saying it, because if you wanted to know what is the greatness of this particular tool, you should know the previous disadvantages. So go back and go for each model and try to understand that. And the same pointer which I told to the team, means the batch 4, is you people need to collaborate your understandings. See, everyone will means don't be silos to learn this. As a group you need to learn it. Make some time, convenient time for all of you people. Block some calendar. In that particular calendar all you join and you divide the work. So someone will talk about RAD model, someone will talk about SDLC waterfall model, prototype model. So that's their job. You can divide that. Kishan, you do for the waterfall model, and Aisha, you go for the RAD model. Sissy, you go for the spiral model, and then you divide it that such. I will not get into that. So, but still, if you do it in that way, that would be more great. So now, after that, in that particular, for example, fix it at a 5 o'clock, divide these models, and then their job, they will come and present that particular model. So you can save your time, and then you can learn the things very quicker, faster, and then you can be collaborated with each other, and all the people will have the same understanding. So if you do it in that way, that would be much more better. Okay, so what I wanted for tomorrow is the same thing, the different SDLC models. You need to explain me what is a RAD model, or what do you meant by a incremental model. So previously I taken the RAD model example. Now I'll take the incremental model. In incremental model, means for an example, first for an example, there are 4 parts over here. So if you see in this particular page, so this is what I need to actually, this is the outcome for an example. I just wanted to have draw a picture. Now for the first release, what I'll try to do is I'll draw this. For the second release, what I'll try to do, I'll draw this. And for the third release, what I'll try to draw, so I'll draw this. So now if you see here, this particular release was updating with this. So this is what an incremental model. So now what is the advantage of this incremental model means? So this is what the client expectation, right? First I'll show, boss, this is the first step I'm trying to do. Is there any feedback you want me to give or any changes I need to do? So that information you'll be getting back from him. So the client will say, boss, no, don't keep circle, keep a square here. So then he will keep the square here. So according to the square, then we will try to show this. So this is what the incremental model. So we will increment the project accordingly with this particular requirements. We will have an instant feedbacks, and then we'll get a quick reviews from the client. And according to the client requirements, we will keep on changing our things. So this is what the incremental model advantages. And then the disadvantages of this one is we don't have the shorter span, and then we don't have the documentations and all these things. So like that, so you need to explain me what is in a model, and then different aspects, means pros and cons of it. So this is what the expectation. Same way for the STLC. What is a phase, means how we discussed now, what is an requirement gathering phase, who are the roles we will be having it, and what exactly we will do it in that particular phase, and what is the exact outcome of that particular phase. So this is what we required from that particular explanation. So this is the second pointer. And the third pointer is we do wanted to have the testing methodologies. The testing methodologies is nothing but we do have white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing. So these are the testing methodologies. You just go through that testing methodology and then come back to us. So this is what they expected